Hi, I'm Diana, and today we're talking about being happier right where you're at. Maybe you've traveled recently or you've traveled in the past, and now your mind has expanded to the possibilities of happiness, but you're stuck where you're at. Would moving make you happier? Maybe, but some people just can't pick up and move. Maybe your job is here, maybe your family's here, maybe you just don't have the resources to move. Instead of sitting around grousing about how you would like to move away and you wish you could, maybe you could make some small changes in your life here, right where you're at, to be happier and enjoy where you live. I'm making this video because I woke up this morning with what I like to call a fair amount of existential dread. And I don't know if you've ever had this feeling, but sometimes life just doesn't feel good. And this might be cycle related, or it just might be life related, and it doesn't matter where it's coming from. I do think that I could solve some problems in my life to enjoy where I'm at right now. Sometimes we can't just move to Europe or Thailand or Costa Rica. So the first step is to look around and identify the things that you do love about where you live. There has to be something, and you have to find it, because every day you have to be grateful for it so that you can learn to be happier with what you have. But the second step is to identify what you don't like about where you live, and you need to make a list. You need to write it down. So as an example, I'll show you my list. The things that I don't like about living here in Los Angeles is the lack of biking and walking culture. I don't like car culture. I find that there's a real lack of connection with others. I like to meet strangers. I like to have interactions, and it's hard when everybody's just tucked away in their cars. I don't have enough outdoor time with friends. I would like to be outside hanging out with my friends, not stuck in a restaurant or a house. So now you take your list and you start to identify the things that you absolutely can't do anything about. Forget it. Cross those off if you can't do anything about them. But also, open your mind to the possibilities of maybe you can change some of these. Maybe you just haven't been willing to do the work. You have to ask yourself, am I willing to be challenged? Am I willing to lead? Am I willing to do the work to have what I want? And if so, take a look at your list and identify what is it on this list that you truly crave? What is it that your soul is so hungry for? And my one thing that I'm going to choose as an example to show you how to do this is biking. I love European biking culture. I love that people are biking to school, biking to work, biking in the rain. I love it. And don't tell me that I wouldn't like biking in the rain. I am from the weather capital of the United States. Rain, snow, sleet, ice, hail. I can handle it. I want to bike more. And that's the thing, is that you have to be willing to lead. You can't be willing to listen to people going, oh, that's not possible. You have to be willing to try and to lead. Maybe no one will join me on my biking. That's highly possible. But I have to be willing to set an example and lead the way. Ask yourself if you can maybe start small. And I can, with biking, I can start making trips 2 times a week for anything under 2 miles. That's possible. Okay, you've got another list to make. What are the things that are stopping you from making this change in your life? This is important. You also need to write this down. I'll show you my list. The things that are stopping me from biking more often is that my bike is shoved into a shed with some kitten trees on top of it. When I don't have kittens, that's where I store it. There's a suitcase in there. It's so hard to get to my bike. My bike is always buried. Also, my shed is dirty. It's not a nice place to go. Sometimes my hair and makeup are done and I don't want to get sweaty. I'll be honest. Sometimes I'm wearing non-bike friendly clothes. Sometimes the sun is just too much here. And also the loud traffic, busy streets, they can feel very overwhelming to me and make me not want to be out there. I also have a fear of getting a flat tire and not knowing what to do. That's my honest list. And then you have to take a look at your list. With each one, you need to sit with it. How do I solve this problem? How do I solve this problem? So my first problem was that my bike is not easily accessible. That's easy to do. Make it more accessible. Clean the shed. I can do that now while I'm feeling really motivated. I'm not going to wait. I'm not going to put it on the calendar. I'm going to do it right now. Okay, I don't like going into my shed because it's dirty. Well, I'm going to start sweeping it out once a week. It gets dusty. This is a dusty area. Sometimes I'm not wearing biking clothes. I need to have a couple of bike-ready, bike-friendly outfits ready that are easy to change into, easy to wear, and look like real clothes. That's easy to do. Solving the sun issue would be a matter of wearing sleeves, and also I think that I could wear a hat under my helmet so I have a brim. Busy streets that are overwhelming, I could choose quieter streets. I don't need to take those busy streets. There are other places to go. So I could look at Google Maps and find the grocery store that is closest to me that doesn't have busy streets. And fear of a flat tire, oh come on, I could just learn. I could learn how to fix a flat tire, finally. I could watch some YouTube videos, I could go to the bike store and get the right supplies and carry them with me. There's no reason for me to be afraid of something I simply just don't know. Maybe I end up being the crazy biking friend. Whatever, I'm going to be happier. I know that biking makes me happy, and if I have more biking in my life, I'm going to be happy. So tonight, I'm supposed to meet up with my friends at a restaurant which is less than 2 miles away, and this is sort of a weekly thing that we do, but I've always driven. But tonight, I'm going to take my bike. I've been bicycling for 5 minutes and I'm halfway there. I think it's kind of dumb that I used to drive here all the time. We'll be doing more of these videos about how to be happier right where you're at, how to add the lifestyle you want right into the life that you currently have. All right, I hope you enjoyed this video. Why don't you tell me about the little changes you want to make in your own life, and let's have a chat. I'll see you soon.